Child, I done worked up a sweat out here with these antics. It's actually not really that cold out here. It's raining. Actually, looks like the rain has stopped. Anyway, you guys, it's Rox, and I'm coming to you with the review for Real Housewives of Atlanta Season 7 episode, what is it, y'all? Episode 13. Wasn't too much of an exciting episode last night, mostly because the Grammys was on, so I'm sure they just kind of did a little filler episode. But we're going to review it anyway, you guys, so let's get to it, shall we? Bitch, it's hot. Get some air up in here. Shit. Okay, you guys, Kenya. Kenya meets with the legendary Roger Bob because, like she tells us before, Hollywood is calling. I find it very ironic that Roger Bob always is in a scene with Kenya and we ain't seen Brahman with Demetria yet. But hey, that's neither here nor there. Kenya is on some bullshit. She got these treatments that she wrote and she wants Roger Bob to, help her out. I guess produce these these grand ideas that she has. So she goes through her whole little, Kenya. Okay, I always got to get a little diggy. And she comes up with this story about three girls. No, she's a transgendered pole dancer. We got Althena, I think was the name. And Althena was, jack of all trades, slick talking, notary public. Not the notary, okay? And then we had some other chick. What was her name? I can't think of the third sister. This sister is very dingy and she doesn't know that the Underground Railroad is not a train station. Roger Bob is just sitting there like, oh God. I don't even know why he comes on this show. He looks like he is barely tolerating it. He's just like, are you sure this isn't based on anybody? And she's just like, oh, just kind of loosely based. Come on with the bullshit, Kenya. I guess it was just supposed to be a little tee-hee-hee moment for us. Did you tee-hee-hee? Now get this, the name of this story is called Life Twirls On. Okay, Kenya. While they were sitting there at the table, Roger Bob kind of gives her the cold shoulder. He is not going to be around for this bullshit, but whatever. Later on, she meets up with Brandon, and she's talking to him about, her meeting with Roger Bob, and even though he's kind of giving her the cold shoulder and the runaround, and she's going to still go forth with this. Brandon was just like, oh, so we going to do everything? And she was just like, well, we can. Okay, so I guess they going to be the writer, the director, the producers, they going to film the shit. They going to do all of this, fine. She does say that she's not going to do the parody anymore because she just doesn't want to take attention away from her project, and instead she is going to do a story about some sisters and some family drama. I was just like, whatever, Kenya. The bitch don't want to get sued, okay? So that's why she changed that. She started talking about people being in it. Cynthia wants to be in it, evidently, said that she's an actress. I don't think that we think Cynthia is an actress. I mean, even Cynthia, I'm sure, would tell us that she's not an actress. I don't know what that was about. I actually do remember when Kenya was filming this, whatever the fuck this was that she was talking about out here in Atlanta. It was all on her Instagram and all on Cynthia's Instagram. They was talking about everybody go to some location in like Jonesboro that they was filming something. And I was like, y'all, Jonesboro, I ain't trying to shit on Jonesboro for any of my viewers out there that live out there, but y'all, that ain't really the most Hollywoodish part of Atlanta. We talking about filming some shit. I was like, that shit sound low budget. Phaedra goes to see Quad, and I was just like, why are we having all this cross-pollination of shows? It kind of reminds me of back like when I was younger and one of my aunties would be trying to fix me up with some nigga that I didn't never want to know, had no patience for, that's alright type of nigga. Why you guys keep on hoisting these different Bravo shows and everybody is on different shows? It's like they trying to force us to watch other show. Well, guess what? I still ain't watching Married to Medicine, okay? Phaedra is acting like she just don't know what she gonna do with these kids and what to tell them, and Quad's husband is telling her to look, the kids deserve to know what's going on. Just kind of tell them that the nigga's in timeout. They'll understand that. I was like, honey, they already thinking that he's going on timeout, so they one up on y'all. Then Phaedra tells him that she just doesn't want to take the kids to this jail where there's murderers and, where there's molesters. And I was just like, well, Apollo did white collar crime. Don't that mean he's going to a federal prison? He's not even going to, I mean, I might be wrong, But I thought that he wouldn't be going to a prison that had those type of criminals in there. And Quad's husband's like, them kids ain't gonna know if what's going on in the jail. All they know is they going to see their damn daddy. You know, Phaedra, she keep on telling us that she gonna do what's best for her kids. And the guy was just like, look, you do what you gotta do raising them. Make sure that they're in positive environment. Make sure that you there for them for all other aspects, and they'll be fine. Even if their dad is in jail. I know it's something we need to worry about, but you do your part. Then Phaedra gonna sit up there and fix her mouth to say that, you know, she never would have thought that a person that had been in jail before would get out and do some crime again to land their ass back in there. I said, now, Phaedra, now I know you are a fucking lawyer. You just let us know that you won Lawyer of the Year not just a few episodes ago. You mean to tell me you gonna try to sit up here and tell us that you don't know shit about no career criminals, okay, repeat offenders? Any of these terms don't make, you know, they don't ring a bell in the lawyer's mind. Okay, something is wrong here. Phaedra, you knew the job when you took it. It's definitely a chance that he could have landed back there. Stop acting like you didn't know that. She tried it with that one, you guys, but whatever. So she get to talking, telling him how she's worried that he's angry and he's doing all kind of irrational things, so they worried about their safety. Okay. In the meantime, Apollo goes to see the one and only Randy Watson. Y'all can tell I wanted to say that. Randy is the only fucking lawyer in Atlanta. I swear he must be the only one. Okay, so Apollo sits down with Randy, and you know, Apollo is in this whole reflective mood. Randy is just like, look, we gotta start talking about worst case scenarios here. If your wife decides to file divorce as soon as you go into jail, because when do you go in? Apollo's like, yeah, in 4 days I'm going to jail. So he's just like, okay, well, yeah, you know, she might go to court and she might say all this shit against you negatively, and we already know if you in jail, then she probably has, you know, quite a bit to say about you negatively. Apollo is feeling real bad, okay? I'm just looking at him and I'm just like, that got to be a terrible feeling to know in 4 days that you're going to be locked up for 8 years. But hey, I mean, you know, you make up the bed to lay in it, right? So this is what he got to do. But Randy does let us know that, you know, there's no way that the courts could ignore the fact that she had to know that there was a chance that Apollo might land his ass back in jail, because Randy is a lawyer who understands repeat offender and career criminal. Moving on, you guys, later on, you know, Mama Regina, or as Sean Bradley calls her, the Mucinex Man. He calls her the Mucinex Man. You guys see the goddamn Mucinex commercial? Anytime I see that shit, I start laughing. But anyway, oh, you are so fucking wrong for that shot. And she says, you know, she's worried about Phaedra's and the boys' safety because the way Apollo been acting. Okay, Mucinex say, okay, the big bad wolf might come and huff and puff and burn this goddamn house down. So what we gonna do is we gonna get the hell up out of here, just so that my, you know, my babies, you and my grandbabies are safe. You know, Phaedra, I actually did feel sorry for. I just go back and forth with all of you guys. I'm sorry. I know I need to be looking at the whole big picture, but, you know, just when they were talking, I could tell Phaedra wanted to cry, but she wasn't going to let y'all see that shit, but it was there, that all that, you know, all them muscles and shit, your face get to quivering and shit. I was just like, girl, don't, stay hoard. You hoard, Phaedra. You hoard. This is some foolishness here, y'all. I'm telling y'all, I'm all hyped up from that fucking coffee. It was good in the mugs, y'all. Anyway, where am I at? I'm ready for Apollo to go, okay? It's time. Alright, you guys, Candy, the play is fucked up. Okay, we already know, because I talked about it in length on one of my Top of the Blogs videos, that the play is kaput. You know, they had this great big tour set up. I thought it was quite ambitious when I looked at the, you know, all the tour dates, and the promoter had bit off more than they can chew. So the play was only out for a week, y'all. I was like, that ain't no fucking tour, nigga. That's a visitation. Woo! Poor Candy Clearly, she's upset. See, this is exactly why I don't let anyone run anything for me. Now, I'm gonna be the one that looks bad. Todd tried to soften it up and say that, you know, it fell on both of them, and I was just like, I'm sorry, Todd. Ain't nobody thinking about your fucking ass, okay? This is a Candy Burress production, even though he's the executive producer too. We all think of the big name when shit like this happens, so it does fall on Candy's shoulders. She was getting emotional, and I just was like, oh, I'm sorry, Candy, with the broke up. Yeah, but it's not the same. People always expect me to come through, and look at all those people that signed on because of me. Oh, poor Candy. Don't cry. Woo, woo, woo. You know, I felt sorry for Candy because in retrospect, you know, hindsight is always 20/20, right? You can always find where the T's weren't crossed and the I's weren't dotted, okay? So the whole lecture from Todd, that shit is not what you want to fucking hear when everything is falling apart, okay? Maybe when we get out the emotional part of it, you know, then we can sit down and listen to reason. But nigga, shut up right now, because I'm fucking mad that this play that has my name written all over it is about to be all over the blogs as a failure, and it's all gonna fall on me. Now that she gotta break it to the team, okay? She get there, it's Don Juan, it's Johnny, it's Karma. You can already tell that they already know, but you know, they doing this scene for you know, just TV's sake. So she tells him that the whole tour is done. You know, Johnny come up with this little acting, what? Like he didn't know. Negro, please. The promoter is not financially prepared to continue on with the tour. Now, I don't know if it was just me, but I was just like, fuck, they almost looked like they was relieved a little bit. I was like, all this laughing and giggling when you sitting up there watching Candy and Todd just look real disgusted. They even go as far as to recreate the damn scene with Aunt Bertha when she was trying to put shit on Todd. Y'all remember that? Here come Bertha with the sexual chocolate moment of the night. Well, it could have been a scheme that Todd set up for him to come to you with the bullshit. That goddamn Bertha turned around. She spun that chair on their ass and jumped up like, bitch, I said that shit. Everybody was just like, well, I'll tell you, that Candy and Todd, they was so fucking not amused, okay? And Don and Johnny and Carmen, y'all know y'all to be ashamed of y'all fucking self. Carmen was just like, shit, I just wanted to get out of Georgia, okay? Motherfuckers didn't even make it out of Georgia. I feel so bad for them. So Nene and Porsha, they go out to lunch, and Portia's letting us know about this party that Dish Nation is giving for us. You guys know that that's the radio station / TV show that she works for. Nene can't come because Nene is studying for her role as the evil stepmother on Broadway. And Nene says that's probably good because these girls bring out the worst in her. That's not the words that she used, but that's exactly what I think with this whole thing. Maybe it's time to separate, but I don't know how that's going to work on a show where you guys all supposed to work together. But whatever. Porsha says that her publicist has invited everybody. So, you know, that means all the girls. But I think it is the hope that Claudia won't show up to this event. Then they go on talking on and on about, you know, the negativities of the girl and how they trifling and so on. And so, you know, the same old shit. Porsha's whole thing is like, look, if I'm going to be blessed with gifts from, you know, up above, if they fall down in my lap, okay, then that's just a blessing. Okay, I'm not blocking it. I'm not mad at Porsha. Okay, bitch, get it how you live. She ain't married. I don't really know what's the deal with whether she with this married man or not. I mean, we've heard stories. Shit, I'm thinking to myself, like, back in my young and ready days, I would have loved for a man to, you know, just be bestowing all this shit on me. So, I ain't got a problem on it. Fuck. Now that I'm older and I know what I know now, I was like, bitch, I could have worked this shit a whole lot differently back in the day. But whatever, I'm getting off track. Let me get back to the show. So, Claudia. Now, before we even get started on Claudia, I found out that Claudia is an Aries. And both of my kids are Aries. And Jada, in particular, is an Aries who is not forgiving. And it looks like Claudia has the same thing. So, it might be an Aries thing. Because, honey, Jada will stay mad. We'll get into a thing. Okay, and she won't talk to me for days. And I'll be like, honey, you ain't gonna out not talk to me. I can not talk. I can bring that shit down to a childish level as well, okay? I can go, look, you gonna need me way sooner than I'm gonna need you. So, honey, you don't want to talk to me, then fine. That's less breath out my body. Shit. But anyway, Claudia, okay, we find out that this child just can't let shit go. She got Derek J over there. You guys, Derek J, come over there with, look, let me not even say nothing about Derek J. Y'all know how I feel about Derek J and all his fashion choices. The fashion queen, child. I never will understand it. Derek J is trying to get her together for, you know, this party. This Dish Nation party that is in honor of Porsha. Claudia has all intentions of going because that's the company that she works for. I was just like, see, Claudia, you don't need to go. You don't need to do this, okay? Because we already know it's some bad blood between the two of you guys. Everybody was going to be fine if you didn't show up. Derek J is trying to get her ass together. You know, they sitting down. She's telling them how she knows shit about Porsha and how, you know, she always, if you come for her, you know, she going to make sure that she come back at you and she going to point the gun at you because I was just like, Claudia, girl, if you don't let it go. So, the big night of the party. I found it very ironic that Claudia was the only housewife to show up. Okay, now I know she works for the company, but I think that this was something that she should have took a pass on, especially knowing that the drama that between her and Porsha hasn't been exactly the best. Okay, so let Porsha have her moment. Don't get in there with this bullshit. I like Claudia, but I don't need this extra shit. It's a time and a place for everything, and if you going to the bullshit, then, you know, I can't. So, you know, Porsha's there. She's Ricky Smiley and all of them. And, you know, Claudia's over there looking out the side of her eye and, you know, looking like she about to set up some shit. Porsha's trying to have a good time. She got her mama there and her granny there and all of her people there. And Claudia finally is just like, Porsha, come on over here. Let me talk to you for a second. And I was like, here we go. So they sit down and Claudia is really trying to drive it home that she's happy for for Porsha, you know, that she don't have any ill feelings about her. And Porsha's just kind of over it. Okay, I'm just trying to explain to Claudia's, baby, if you didn't blew my shit all out like you did Porsha's on that bus, bitch, we ain't gonna be friends no more. We ain't even gonna be cordial. I'm gonna be like, you don't exist when you are in the same room as me. I'm gonna ignore you because I understand where Porsha's coming from. Yeah, Claudia, if you really are trying to work out some kind of friendship or whatever with Porsha, not even a friendship, but if you're trying to be cordial, this ain't the way to do it, bitch. Don't come to my shit with no fucking drama and to sit up here and trying to read me or trying to reprimand me. And look, I'm sorry. Porsha, you know, I think that we think that because she's not the smartest, certain things are just so fucking obvious. Don't come to my shit with this, okay? I thought Porsha handled herself very well. Didn't feed into it. Didn't get no arguing going because Claudia, I kind of feel like she wanted to go there. And the thing I like about Claudia is, you know, she doesn't back down and she stands up for herself. But the thing I don't like about Claudia is she won't let shit go. You can't go through life always fighting. Pick your goddamn battles. And this is shit you learn when you get married. So maybe it's because she just stays single that she don't. But you can't fucking fight with you gonna fight with the whole goddamn world? No. So you just making shit too hard on yourself, bitch. Get over it. Just get over it. Ooh, y'all, I'm so tired. I feel like I just been talking and everything real tight and real, you know. That coffee got me on 100. Ooh. I'm gonna get up here and try to get these videos edited for y'all. You guys remember to rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'm itsrox. The channel is for itsrox, and everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. It's just hot. All right. So I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Until next time, Roxstars. Bye.